What is up, Daily Dose of Wood Patience? Man, today we got a unique guest on the show. The story you guys probably are all wondering how it unfolded. We got the Super Bowl streaker Yuri here on the show with us. Yuri, what's going on, my man?
What's up, brother? How you doing?
I don't want to beat around the bush. I'm going to jump right to the first question that everyone's been asking me to ask you. The bet, was it real or fake?
Of course, it was real, man. That story that I'm not getting paid is getting put out by the podcast and radio shows who I'm denying interviews with. But the only people that didn't pay me is Bovada. But Bovada only owes me like 75 grand out of that big lump sum that everybody's seeing right now.
So you had this all planned out. You went to a bunch of different sports books and put down a bunch of different bets that there would be a streaker at the Super Bowl?
Yeah, well, I had the streak planned out first. Like I was streaking regardless. And then like Saturday night before the game, I called one of my degenerate gambling friends and I'm like, man, I'm about to streak the Super Bowl. And he's like, man, I wonder if there's a prop bet on that, you know? So he found it on Bovada like within 10 minutes. I got a bunch of my friends on the line. I was like, yo, I need you to max this bet out for me. I'll come by, give you cash, or you come here, however we want to do it. And I got a bunch of the bets in. And then I called some people I know in Vegas and started finding a few books over there and then sent my buddy on the plane in the morning at like 9 a.m. to fly to Vegas. I think he got the last bet in like 20, 30 minutes before the game started.
Wow. So all these paid out besides the Bovado one, have you talked to them? Are they saying they're not going to pay you out? What's going on with that?
Yeah, Bovada released some statement saying like, we want to protect the integrity of sports gambling. And this was unfair or something like that, calling it, referring it to something similar to insider trading or something. But it's not like I'm Pat Mahomes dumping the ball away to try to throw the game. I'm betting that a streaker is going to get on the field, and the streaker is getting on the field. I'm not part of the game or being paid by the game or anything like that.
So
So
what's the total payout so far that you've received?
close to 304,000.
Wow. Are these legit books? Are these offshore books? What kind of books
Yeah,
are these?
they're in Vegas, so we'll leave it at that.
Okay. How long did you have it planned in advance?
Well, my boy Vitaly, the YouTube star.
Yes.
He's been my best friend for a really long time now. We went to high school together, and we were in Dubai, and we were just like drunk at a nightclub. And he's like, "Dude, I really want to streak the Super Bowl. I've been trying to get in on it. For the past 4 years, this will be my 5th try, and I can never figure it out." And I was like, "Send me all the videos real quick of all the attempts that you've made on it." So I just scanned through them real quick. Obviously I couldn't hear nothing, club music going, we're just hammered, and I'm like, I got an idea, bro. And I was like, I think I can make this happen. He's like, shut up. And I was like, I swear. I was like, look at every time somebody jumps the field, all the security around her rushes over, or him or her, whatever. Because we sent Kelly Kay out there last year, and I'm watching that video specifically. And, within, I don't know, 30, 40 feet of her, all the security rushed. And I'm like, dude, look at the window that's open right there. And I was like, let's find a decoy. So I find the craziest friend I know growing up, my friend Lil Dougie. I remember when I met him, he was like 13, and I bet him $20 to drop to the bottom of this nasty green pool and pull the possum out from the bottom, and he pulled it out with his teeth. So I paid him 50. So I'm like, that's the guy, And I was like, Dougie, how do you want to make $5,000? He's like, who do I got to kill? And I'm like, you just got to jump on the field at the Super Bowl, and you get to watch most of the Super Bowl. And he's like, I'm in. So you saw in the video, if you see on my Instagram, if you're on King Yuri, check it out. You can see Dougie jump first in the black. He had a thong on too. And I was like, just try to get on the field, but whatever you do, like maneuver around on one side of the field to try to get security to come try to court you in. And it was just wide open for me. I was waiting at the top of the stairs, adrenaline pumping through the roof, and just sprinted on. They couldn't even catch me. As soon as I touched the ground, I was gone.
Yeah, that was crazy. Let's rewind a little bit. Vitaly, for those of you who don't know, is a pretty famous YouTuber, and he's done the streaking at the World Cup, the NBA Finals. He's pretty known for that. So it was kind of your job to take over here. And you guys been friends since you were younger, you said? So you've
Yeah,
been
since high
working with
school.
him or for him?
Yeah, I've worked as his creative director recently, past few years. But I just did it because he was my boy. Like he can't get into any sporting event.
Yeah.
Like the guy's banned. Like he's tried with wigs, and one time he got into the locker room at the Super Bowl with a wig on. Somehow he was down there, and some security was like, "Oh, that guy's a wig on." So they grabbed him and kicked him out, and he got back in somehow. But he said they were like locked arms like this on the field, trying not to let anyone in, you know?
So you bought these tickets because I originally had planned to sneak into the Super Bowl, and I had this whole security outfit. I researched, saw who did the security there, had it all planned out, mapped out. Find out they weren't wearing that exact uniform. They changed it up for the Super Bowl. I was pissed. But did you buy tickets to get in, or did you sneak in too?
We bought tickets to get in, man. They're a little expensive, but you know, it was worth it in the end. It was like a little bit over 24K for both tickets to get like together. But
So
as I was getting in, there was some lady, some like mid-aged 30-year-old woman who was standing right next to me, just walking, like going with the flow with us. And she's like, "Oh, my phone died. Oh, my phone died." And she got all the way through and watched the whole Super Bowl right there with a
stop.
dead phone. She had no. She's like, "I'm sneaking in." She got a $13,000 ticket right next to her.
No
Another MVP
way.
there. Yeah, yeah.
Easy
I don't
as
know
that.
how.
I overthought it, I guess. If I just pulled something like that, sometimes it's the littlest thing.
Yeah,
Were you wearing the thong outfit the whole time? I'd assume not. You probably had something over it and then you took
I
it off
had it
right
like
before.
I had it like rolled down like around my thighs, you know, like boxers kind of.
Yeah.
I was kind of chilling with that because I didn't want to put it in my pocket. Maybe they see it and like, oh, what's that? Italian censored. Get the hell out of here, you know.
Yeah.
So I had to like roll down around my thighs, you know, not wedged up my crack. That was so uncomfortable. It's a small for a women's. So yeah, it did not fit very well as I put it on, but the adrenaline was rushing so much that I didn't even think about it, you know, just
Did you wait? Did you have a certain time that you wanted to go? Did you want to watch most of the game first, get your money's worth, and then see when the right time would be?
yeah, so I spent like 3.5 quarters, as you know, there's like 5 minutes left in the game, watching the security move around, and they were like in our section, which was like in the corner of the end zone, there was a row down here and then another section and then like a row down here of staircases. They blocked off the first 5 rows and put like some piece of wood on top of it, and they had a security block in the top of that row and the bottom of that row where it was blocked off. So at times they would switch, like every 15-20 minutes they would switch, and it would be two and then one and then one and then two, you know. So I waited till there was two here, and the one over here was a female, like this older woman who was just sitting down. You know, she didn't really look like she was too into her job. So I had my decoy run where the two were and jump right there where there's a cop and a security guard right there. So the security guard by the row where I was standing and waiting ran over to him. As soon as I saw that, it was wide open. You know, I ran down the steps, leaped off the steps, hit the rail, and pushed off. And I was moving so fast that I landed in the end zone. So I knew as soon as I landed, I'm like, the bet hit. You saw the look on my face. It was just like I'm sorry, the decoys is blowing me up right now. I keep having to block is called my boy Dougie. But as soon as I landed, you know, they saw the smile on my face, and I was just like, I run on the field and do a lap, and I'm like, well, you know, nobody's coming after me. Like, what do I do here? You know? And
Yeah,
finally I
you
saw the
there was no
security,
one
and
chasing you at
yeah,
first.
nobody, dude. I look at Pat Mahomes. I'm like, you're the man. And he just like rolled his eyes. He was pissed off. I'm sure it wasn't over the streakers. It was more the fact that he was down 20 with 5 minutes left. You know,
Yeah. Well,
probably
Gronk
like,
said, I saw that you posted on your Instagram with he was on Cohen, I believe it was.
yeah.
He said that his team, the guys on his team enjoyed it. They got a kick out of it and it was like icing on the cake for their win.
Oh yeah, dude. I looked over at the sideline and they were going nuts. You know, and I met a couple of the guys later on at a nightclub there in Tampa in Ybor City, and they were like, you're the freaking streaker. That's what I'm talking about. You're the real MVP. You know, like, yeah, they were going nuts. Dude. I met Leonard Fournette. Was partying with him and Shady McCoy and a couple of other big defensive names on the Bucks. Man, it was pretty cool. I think I'm adopting the Bucks as my second team after the Dolphins here.
I mean, that would be a no-brainer after what just
Yeah,
unfolded. That would have to, that would have to
yeah,
be
for
your
sure.
team, especially meeting the guys. Now, you had this plan. Did the pink just stick out as the color to go to for the thong?
Yeah, so like we were promoting the website Vitaly Uncensored, right? So
Is that a
we
porn
he's
website, by the way, that
it's
he
not a
runs
porn
now?
website, but like you know we do just like any type of prank you can imagine. So there's a lot of topless girls. There's no like actual porn where we're like people are having sex. You know, it's just like
Yeah.
stuff that YouTube wouldn't let us post because they demonetized us. You know, on YouTube. So um we just opened up our own. Well, he opened up the website.
What was your following count at before the streaking and then post streaking?
I think it was at like 19K or so. And then it just blew up, within 5 days. It was at like 80 and then 90. And then the other day I hit 100. And the next day it was at like 110, 120, 130. I think we're at 131 now or
That's
so.
that's great. Now you slide into the end zone, you run 110 yards, you run the whole field, juke out a couple of security guards, make them look like bums, and you slide, you get tackled. What happens after that? Everyone wants to know what the process is like after you do something like that.
So they jumped on top of me, and when they got on top of me, I was like, "Don't beat me! The whole world's watching." I hear one of them start laughing, and then they carry me away, and the guy's like, "I hope it was worth it." I'm like, "Man, look up on TV, dude. Of course it was worth it." And
Yeah.
they get me in the office or in the like. There's like a back room back there with some cells, for drunken, disorderly people, or whatever.
Anyone else
People
in
like
there?
me. I didn't see anybody, but obviously my boy Dougie was in there. He's like, "Fuck yeah,"
Waiting for
screaming in the
you.
back. Yeah, and after like 20 minutes of sitting in the cell, didn't let me pick my wedgie either. It was like wrote like all the way up my crack
Oh
for
man.
like 5 hours. It was oh, they were ruthless with that one. I hear him go like, "Dang, this guy's got 10 million views already."
They knew
And
right away.
yeah, and then I'm banging on the window like, "F yeah." They were laughing. They got a kick out of it too. I think they're trying to be serious, but
How long did they hold you for?
I think I was in there for like 4 or 5 hours, and then they transferred me over to the county jail. And but right before I jumped, I popped like 5 melatonins. So because I knew I was going to be in jail, and I was just like slumped in the chair the whole time. I slept. They had to wake me up. They're like, "Man, we've been calling you for 30 minutes." And I'm like, "I just don't want to leave."
So you go to the county jail, you get booked. What are the charges and what is the bail that you have to put up?
Trespassing charge. So I already knew I was gonna go to jail, so I put like 4 grand in my pocket just in case whatever the bail was for me and my buddy. So I gave them. They took my bail right out of there, and it took my buddy's bail out of my money too. And
Which was
they just
what?
charged me with the trespassing charge, $500
Okay.
each. Yeah, which
And
Vitaly paid for. Vitaly paid for the seats too.
so $500 to streak the Super Bowl. Now what's going on moving forward? You probably got a lawyer and you think you'll get this thrown out?
I mean, like worst case scenario, I'll pay like a fine or something like that. I think it's just trespassing. It's not like a felony offense or anything. It's like
That's
literally
it,
the,
huh? No
the most
misdemeanor,
minimum.
felony.
No, nothing. A
Wow.
misdemeanor. Yeah, it's a misdemeanor. Trespassing is a misdemeanor.
But
So
you think
I
you'll
just
be
got
able
my
to get
lawyer
that?
today. He's hooking it up. He's gonna take care of me, and I don't know. Who knows? Maybe they might try to make an example out of me or something like that, and make sure people don't do it anymore. But I mean, well, what's worst case scenario? Like I pay a big fine or do some community service, which I would love to do.
Yeah. Where
And
you at right now? You're not in Tampa, are you?
no, I'm in Boca, but if anybody's listening, I'll be in Tampa Friday. So you
Let's
guys can
go.
party with me.
Yeah, I gotta capitalize on this too. Your post game, post streaking celebration, you get into a strip club, and that was an even better video. You kept escaping the security guards and kept getting back on the pole. First off,
Yeah.
how did you even get into the strip club?
Well, I got in with regular clothes, and then when I was there, I was kind of drunk and just thought like, let me just strip my clothes off and run onto the stage here. It was the day I got out, and I was at the hotel hanging out. My buddy Dr. Rick, who does Rob Gronkowski's stem cells as well, um, he was like, "Hey, come to what's it called, Penthouse, come party with me." And I was like, "All right, why not?" So I went there, and it was like, oh. As soon as I took my shirt off, they're like, the streaker," and I just like rushed the stage real quick, started throwing all the ones, celebrating my victory there, and just started eluding the security a little bit. That was a lot of fun. They ended up letting me back in the strip club, of course, and I partied with them, and I was like, "Come on, man, that was great footage, like here's my ID."
I was gonna ask you, did they beat you up or they were joking
No,
around
dude, they were
too? They
dying laughing. They were dying laughing. They're like the streaker. They're like they asked for some pictures and stuff. I took some pictures with security guards and went right back in.
they're having fun with it. Yeah, that
Yeah,
video, I saw that video, I was like, damn. That wasn't the same night, that was the next day?
yeah. I spent the night in jail. So yeah, that was Monday, the following day, and I met Mike Evans there. He's like, "Dude, that was sick. What a run!" The
Yeah, I
Chiefs need to
saw you.
sign you.
You were hanging out with a couple of the guys. At Tanger, was it too, that you were at one night? Met
Yeah,
up with
that
some
Tango
guys.
was the next night. So yeah, I partied there at Penthouse. I hung out with Mike Evans for a little bit, talked to him, and then when I went back the next day uh to Boca, I got a DM from Tangra nightclub, and they're like, "Yo, we want you out here tomorrow, computable, let's do something, collab over here." And he's like, "I got the Bucks guys coming out," and they're like, "We want the fucking streaker." And so I was
Damn.
like, "Hell yeah, man, I gotta go back." So I jumped on a PJ, headed back to Tampa, and went to Tangra like around 6, dude. By 10, I was toasted,
They hooked
but
you up.
yeah, they hooked me up, dude. 42 bottles, Dom Perignon, spraying champagne everywhere, partying. Shout out Tangra and that GM, man. You guys really hooked it up. And Carlos over there at Tangra.
Speaking of DMs, any DMs from Dwayne The Rock Johnson? I know you're a big fan, and you were wearing his sneakers. You gave him a little promo there for the
Yeah.
Super Bowl, and he shouted you out.
Yeah, man. Nothing from the Rock yet. I'm really trying to get a hold of him. Like every chance I get, I'm like trying to get a hold of his manager, his talent agent, whoever I can. What I really want to do is get the shoes that I ran on the field with, because all my buddies like, dude, you could get so much money, you auction those. So I want to get him to sign it and then auction it and donate all the proceeds to charity. Make a Wish Foundation, or even if it was his choice. If he has a certain charity in mind, I think that would be really cool. Give back a little bit. Because didn't want to ruin anybody's game or anything. But I got a lot of limelight from that, and I kind of want to do some good with it. Like everybody's focused on this bet, and like I don't care about the bet. I don't care about the money. Like what Bovada has to pay me is pennies. I'd rather just take those shoes and donate that money, do something good with it.
That story will definitely get out to the people if that actually ends up happening. And giving back to charity is always something that is beneficial to everyone. And it was always a good story in the end. You got any other big things planned now for the future?
I'm in talks right now for something big coming up. And if I can get that solidified, I'd cry, man. It'd be really big, but I want to make it a surprise, so I can jump out on it.
We talking
It'd
like
be like a
movies,
guest,
TV shows, or
an event, a sporting event.
an event? Okay.
Yeah. I want to be like a surprise guest on that event, and kind of streak it, maybe do a little show or something. But I'm hoping that gets locked in. We'll see, but
Wow.
that would be pretty big.
Definitely. Yeah, you definitely can use this situation now to make a bunch of connections moving forward, right? And set yourself up with different events. Do you have any of that money on you that you could show us? I assume that'd be fucking a
No,
shit ton.
let's see what most of it. I don't know where I put that. I took out like 30 grand just to go spend around town and shit. But nothing but ones everywhere. I can't really find it.
Are you with Vitali now?
No, I'm at my mom's house right now. She wanted to see me, so I came here to spend a couple nights with her.
What'd
And
she have to say
I
about
think
that?
I think she saw my cash on the bed and stashed it somewhere. Hey, ma! Just kidding.
Did she know you were
I
doing
went out to
that?
try to get some new hype yellows and with the bookie money here, but
There we
I
go.
didn't have any. What'd
Was
you
your
say?
mom aware of the situation before it happened?
Yeah, so I told her, and she tried to talk me out of it. She's like, "No, it's a terrible idea. You're gonna get in trouble." And I was like, "Listen, mom, like this decision is made.
Yeah,
Like,
it's locked.
I'm gonna do it." And then when I called her from jail, she goes, "I'm for the first time ever, I did something bad," and she goes, "I'm so proud of you."
Are you banned from all the books now that you got the payouts on?
No, they were a little salty, but they paid it out. It's like I said, it's not like I'm throwing a fight or I'm part of the game or anything like that. I'm just a streaker,
Yeah,
trying to get on the field just like every year. And if I wouldn't have made that field, they would have took my money 100%. There would have been
yeah,
nothing. They would have been like, oh, there was an attempt, so we're just gonna cancel out the bets. Like, no, what Bovada did was too is not only did they not pay out the bet, they seized all the money in every account that put that bet in. So one of my buddies that I told I was gonna streak, I was like, yo, put the money on me. He had like 15 grand in his Bovada account, that he had won from previous occasions, and they seized all his money and took that bet.
Damn.
So pretty screwed, But I got a call from a lawyer the other day who wants to sue Bovada on a federal scale. So we'll see how that works. That would be huge, I plan on donating a large portion of that to charity too, over the 75,000 that Bovada should have paid, and they're dumb not to, because if I could actually make this happen and the lawyer can make this happen, then they'll be losing a lot more than 75K.
Yeah, there's never been a situation like this before. I can't recall another time in sports gambling history where someone did something like this. So this is a unique situation, and you could get the win in court there, and that would be huge. But my next question was what you were going to do with the money. It sounds like you want to give back a lot. You're big into charity.
Yeah, I want to give back a lot. Like the money isn't greedy or money hunger or anything like that. I was doing well for myself before the streak. I did it for the experience. I want to donate a lot of that money, a lot of the proceeds from Bovada. I doubt Bovada ever gives to charity, so I'm going to force them to. So we'll see how that works out. But yeah, I want to give a lot of it back, maybe buy a house here in Boca, because I live mostly in California these days. But I'd like to have a vacation home here in Boca probably.
Yori, man, it's been great. I appreciate it. Anything else you want to add? I got all my questions out for you. I was definitely curious on how it all went down, and you gave it to us. So I'm happy to get this out to our people. Any last things you want to add in here?
Follow Vitaly Uncensored.
Yes.
Links in my bio, and sign up. It's the
King Yuri on Instagram.
King Yuri on Instagram. It's the price of a shot of tequila, man. Buy me a shot. Sign up for a month at least. Go check it out. There's a lot of good content on there, and we'll be releasing the full documentary of how we planned the whole thing within the next 24 hours.
Oh wow, let's go. Hype.
Yeah, man.
We'll be on the lookout for that. Tell Vitaly we said what's up. Let's look to collab soon down the road. Eventually, maybe get some ideas going, and I think we could do something big. But we'll be in touch. Once again, man, thank you for hopping on the show.
Right on, man. Thank you.
Cause I wanna have worth. Working hella hard till they put me in the dirt. Gonna go far, man, listen to my words. Gonna be a star, man, life's like a blur. When you're working this hard, yeah, you get what you deserve.